There are many places to start when picking a tennis racket, but when I recommend rackets or when I advise people, I usually think the easiest place to start is the head size. How big is the head size? The head size is measured just by square inches, and basically it's the part of the racket that gets strung. The head, the strung part of the racket, that is what we call the head size. It's measured in square inches, and usually when you go to buy a racket, or we'll always have the head size listed, if not on the racket itself. You can look it up online if you're buying online, or if you're not buying online, simply look it up online and it'll tell you the head size. Now, in this case, I have just randomly, or not randomly, I just grabbed a Wilson Ultra 110. So an Ultra 110 tells us this head size is 110 square inches. That makes this an oversized head racket. An oversized racket is measured at 106 to 135 square inches. So what that tells you, 106 to 135, I don't think I've seen a racket 135 square inches. I'm sure it exists, but 110 is an oversized head racket that I do see quite a bit. It just tells us it's a little bit larger than your average racket. Why would someone play with an oversized head racket? I recommend anyone who's a beginner player to play with an oversized head racket. Basically, what it does, it gives you more margin for error than a smaller head size. If you're an advanced player, you can handle a smaller head size because you're used to hitting the ball on the sweet spot more often. But a beginner player needs as much help as they can from the racket in order to find the sweet spot, which is just above the center here. So there'll be a lot of mishits. So an oversized head racket is a great fit for a beginner player. Also, most companies know beginners use oversized heads, so they make it a little bit lighter. So maybe someone who is not as strong, and a beginner player, like I said, would be a good fit for an oversized head racket, which is 106 to 135 square inches. This is a 110 head size. If you look at most of the racket models, will have an oversized head version of it for people who like the racket but need a little bit more surface area to make sure they make contact at the right spot.